tell me you haven't been recording this whole time? Dude, that was golden material!
I suspect it's a lie.
The best part is I'm recording now.
I assumed as much, but anyway.
Hi!
Had the camera set up and everything.
Oh, before this gets into any more of a train wreck before we even started.
I thought this is just how you do things.
It's not a huge difference, I'm going to be honest.
It's the warm-up.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this month's edition of Real Geeks. I am your host, Mike Montgomery, and I have our usual co-host Paula with me. And since, once again, Trevor's not available due to baby things. Look, this is going to be a months-long running gag. This kid will be in college before I'm done with it.
To be fair, it's a justifiable.
Oh, it's entirely, but man, am I going to have fun with it. And we have a special guest today, Geeks vs. Nerds alumni, Mikki Gorman. So, why don't you take a minute and tell the people about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mikki Gorman. I cannot breathe or talk. Residual colds. I host a podcast, a couple of podcasts on iTunes, and I host a video review series called My Gender is Cinema. And I mostly am very good at yelling on stage. You'd agree with that, yes?
Oh, so you can project your voice then.
Oh, yeah.
I can project my voice!
Perfect.
I was actually just going to say, also a little bit of host trivia. I've taken the stage twice with Geeks vs. Nerds, and my first debate opponent actually was Mikki.
Oh, shit. I will admit that I don't remember anything except reading my scripts. It was just like, no, head down, otherwise the stage fright will get me, and I'm going to fuck this up.
That was all I ever did on stage.
So picturing the audience naked didn't work?
Oh, no, I just look right into the lights so I can't see anyone.
Yeah, I remember those days from doing stand-up comedy. Those lights were hot.
Those lights were very hot, yeah. But soothing. Soothing. Look into the pain. The pain is good.
I'm glad you had a better experience with those lights than I ever did.
So with that, of course, I'm going to change things up a bit by doing this at the beginning for a very specific reason, and remind you to hit that like button. If you really love this insanity, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the bell that is solely there because YouTube wants to make it really, really hard for you to find the contents from the creators that you enjoy. And unless, of course, you're a part of the hashtag boycott Captain Marvel movement, in which case, I've let the intro go this long specifically because we've already got your review. You can fuck off and get the hell out.
Hashtag boycott Marvel? I'm sorry, what?
Oh!
I haven't heard of any of this?
Oh,
Let me
if I
guess,
had
cis
time
white
for
men?
this.
Yeah, okay, I got
How
it.
did
Yeah.
you know? How did you know?
I don't know, just, I don't know. There's just something about that group of people that, yeah. Screw you.
Yeah, we have your view numbers already. You've stayed tuned long enough.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You told me. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, what? What part didn't you understand? The buh or the bye? Bye-bye.
Now, for the rest of you who actually have brains between your ears, can you tell my feelings about this hashtag at all?
Well, hashtag boycott a lot of things is a bad hashtag. But anyway.
Oh yeah. We are, of course, taking the show higher, further, faster. Yes, I was going to work that in somewhere. To discuss Captain Marvel. And since Mikki, general rule is guests go first.
Thank
So-
you very much. Appreciate it.
What did you think?
Of course, I really loved it, but I love it for a very specific reason. It's a fantastic film. It hits all the Marvel points. All of this is wonderfully formulaic at this point. And a lot of people don't like that. They look at it and go, oh, won't they do something new with these films? It's like, you're watching a comic book film.
Yeah.
Comic books are intentionally formulaic. That's how they have survived this long. It's a brilliant way of serializing, and Captain Marvel is like, so if Iron Man is kind of, oh, we're trying this formula, see how it works, and Doctor Strange is kind of like, we're refining this formula. Captain Marvel is, here's the Big Mac meal. We've worked this out.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years. This is how you do this.
Oh yeah, and actually, it's perfect that you say that because a friend of mine and local-ish cosplayer, Kevin St. Pierre, made a comment on Facebook just earlier today that's like perfect for that. If you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you're gonna keep making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You're not gonna start putting ketchup or pickles or anything else on there, like just to do something different.
Cream cheese is actually good on PB and J. I know it sounds weird, but it's.
Personally, I prefer sliding a little bacon in there, so I understand it can get
bacon,
weird. It can get complicated.
Y'all gonna take her word for it. We at Real Geeks do not endorse any of these dietary choices in any way. I have at least a passing familiarity with how Elvis went. Eat with caution.
Life didn't let me go watch the movie Thursday. Life didn't let me go watch it last night. So I looked at the movie started at 12:45 today. I was there, and then we're filming at 3:45 today. So I literally went from the movie to here, and well, I texted you straight off.
Yep.
Oh my god, the movie is amazing. And my goal now, I love cats, I love Siamese, I love tuxedos, and I've always loved marmalades. And now I want a marmalade cat just so I can call it Goose. This is now one of my goals.
Oh, yeah, this cat completely stole the movie from just about everybody.
Yes.
Like,
for those that like the strong, sarcastic Fury character, he gets down on his knees and he talks to the kitty.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute? I'll be back.
And before you complain about early spoilers, that's in the trailer. Shut up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
one of
his
the
cat.
reasons why I wanted to see this movie. Screw anything else. I wanted to see Fury on his knees talking to the cat.
I really liked how, that was a great example of how they completely changed, not completely changed Fury, but it's kind of like, you're expecting Nick Fury, hardcore master
Well,
of
you can
espionage.
still be that and then go,
Yeah.
ooh.
Exactly. But they tone it all down as in he hasn't built that persona yet. He's still just a guy, and he doesn't care that you're seeing me gush over this kitty cat.
There are points where some of his dialogue almost goes stereotypical black comedic character, not quite, but almost. But at the same time, you watch it, you can still go, yeah, I can see how this guy becomes the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, how you will eventually become that
Yeah.
guy. But right now, you're kind of innocent. You're innocent, and that's why you have your face in that cat.
Now, for myself in general with this movie, I am going to go back to that infamous hashtag for a moment because there's a very specific reason. Now, a lot of their complaints, and holy god am I using the term loosely, essentially boil down to this is a movie that is not written for straight white men. Now, this is a 90s sci-fi action buddy cop flick, essentially, with a sarcastic, eventually very confident and self-assured hero, with a heavily 90s influenced synth score, and pretty much my college years as the soundtrack. Speaking as a straight white male, I'm sorry, this movie was written for me in every way.
There are definitely a lot of moments in the film where it's if you're offended by this, you are intentionally acknowledging that you are the asshole in this situation.
Oh, yeah. And even then, a lot of those moments where when you see them or kind of references to them in the trailers, it looked like it could have gone incredibly ham-fisted or way too on the nose, but they just hit it and move on so quick that a lot of my worries like that went away very, very quickly.
I spent a lot of time in the 80s and 90s watching TV, watching sci-fi shows, watching cop shows, and watching this movie had me back in that space. Yeah. So they did a great job with that. The casting for it, I'm not a huge fan of Jude Law. There's, his movies I found are hit or miss.
Yeah.
He was awesome for this role. Samuel L. Jackson, it's Samuel L.
yeah.
Jackson. You can't go wrong with him, and he's already got an established character. They brought Agent Coulson back, and I adore him. I adore Greg. Brie Larson, I don't know a lot of her work. I did see Scott Pilgrim, but it was once, and
It's,
it
like,
just
so
kind of went.
long.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
so
No, I think this is because you technically can't count Scott Pilgrim, so I think this is like her first major big budget blockbuster.
Well, then they cast her
Yeah.
very well because she was perfect for the role. Supporting cast, I cannot say enough about the energy that the actors lent to the roles and how they all interacted with one another. It was right from the get-go. I loved that about the movie. Thankfully, I was able to see it in regular, not 3D. It just go see it.
Oh, God, yes.
And to say, I saw it in 3D, and it actually still works really well.
Oh, yeah.
As the particle effects are wonderful. I like that Marvel 3D films are very restrained. You're going to go see them not because they're like, oh, 3D, it's right in your face, it's right here. It's the minor touches of like, oh, here's some spaceships, and they're just a little bit further out. Oh, here's some particle effects, and they're a little bit. It's very restrained, and it helps, I feel.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it has that midpoint of
Don't spend that amount of money if you don't have to, though.
That's
but-
part
yeah.
of my problem.
Yeah.
like as we mentioned last month with Alita Battle Angel. Like, we saw it in 3D, and you forget that it's in 3D very quickly. Here, like we said, the 3D doesn't jump out at you per se, but you don't have that problem of completely forgetting you're in a 3D film.
Yeah, it's not necessary, and so yeah, you definitely do remember. Like, there are moments of like, oh, okay, yeah.
And even the feminist moments, like the memory of that dude is like, hey, you know what it's called, a cockpit, right? And
they
I
just bring it up
literally,
a few times,
this is literally exactly what my brain did. Oh wow, that line is so cartoon. Oh god, it's really like that, isn't it?
And
I am so sorry.
I was really surprised that a lot of people going into it were like, oh my god, no, this is a pro-military film. This is just going to be pro-military. Every
Yeah.
soldier in it, aside from Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson, are assholes. There's nothing good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 90s.
Oh yeah, no, especially. But it's like, how is this supposed to be a pro-military thing again?
Because a lot of the people that go towards those careers are compensating for something.
No, that's about right.
Yeah,
That
no,
sounds about
it's like,
right.
I had seen that same comment from someone on social media, and I was looking at my iPad going, what?
Where?
How did you get? Please connect those dots for me. I don't agree with you, but I want to know how you got there.
And I think it's just because like the Air Force did go, okay, yeah, we'll support this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Because in the past they haven't supported Marvel because they can't wrap their heads around SHIELD. Is SHIELD an American agency? If it is, what's doing is illegal. Therefore, we can't say that we're behind it.
But they work outside of official government sanctioned laws, which of course is
Yeah.
the problem.
And that breaks the Air Force apparently. Or the
Yeah,
Department. Yeah.
There's
Military
always
thing.
going to be some kind of covert group that isn't sanctioned that nobody acknowledges. Now, actually, it was brought up at one point in time that the female test pilots weren't able to fly the planes.
Yeah, they
Which
couldn't
is-
do combat missions.
Yeah.
And actually for that, like, I checked just out of curiosity. That line, she specifically says that this was 1989.
Mm-hmm.
And the first American female combat pilot wasn't until somewhere I think somewhere between like 92 and 95.
It definitely sounds like
Yeah.
a Gulf War thing. Like that.
Probably.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
was really fascinating of pulling in that fact of like, yeah, all right, the setup is supposed to be she's a fighter jet pilot, but because of the situation, that actually didn't exist. Having to deal with the real world ramifications of it.
So I mean, nevertheless, she persisted. It's a popular hashtag, and it's there for a reason.
And yeah.
And we see Carol in her flashbacks, time and time again, fucking persisting and fucking getting back up. So yeah.
And yeah, those moments were another thing where seeing them in the trailer, I was concerned because they're so squished together, because like of course it's a trailer, but the way that it's spread out, that again I was just like, oh thank God.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This could have been an incredibly painfully cheesy film.
Oh yeah.
And it's just the people who are making these movies know what they're doing. There's a formula. Follow the formula.
Yeah.
If you fuck up the formula, something goes bad. If you don't, money.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, basically, and I think of course at some point we have to bring up Wonder Woman because like that's just inevitable, and it's like yes, DC had the first female-led comic book film.
Well, yeah.
Which
Supergirl in the 80s was technically the first female-led super comic book film.
that's true, but at the same time, I'm the only person I've ever met who will talk about it willingly. But like another thing that I thoroughly loved with Captain Marvel was the simple fact that the no man's land moment in Wonder Woman, when she like walks out of the trench and all that, was pretty much the entire third act of Captain Marvel. Like emotionally, that's what it was, start to finish.
And I like that at no point, does it crap out. It really sustains that energy right up to the end. And it doesn't have a moment where it goes, oh, I guess everything worked out. I was kind of wrong, and oh, look, a great giant silver gray monster I have to punch.
So I think at this point, I don't know how we would go further without either completely derailing again or going into spoilers.
Oh, thank God.
So...
Because I have wanted to say, since you said everyone in this is great and didn't mention Ben Mendelsohn, I want to mention how awesome it was watching Ben Mendelsohn.
I actually loved watching him. I did.
So,
I'm sitting there looking at the makeup going, I
Yeah.
recognize the actor under the makeup. Who the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
I loved him in this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, the only issue that I had with him, there were points where, I don't know if he has a similar issue as David Tennant where he may have trouble with an American accent, but there were points where he sounded oddly Southern.
I thought that was almost intentional. Like,
Yeah.
he's fluctuating the way he talks constantly.
Yeah.
Based on who he's talking to.
Yeah.
They're in Louisiana, and now suddenly he sounds a little Southern.
Oh yeah, no, it was one of those, it would kind of throw me off for a second, but then it would be fine again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at it this way, they are shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So they're used to taking on different roles and aspects and faces and voices and inflections and tones, so it's probably normal. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it's not a huge thing. It's one of those. Okay, that sounds odd. Oh, okay, I'm good again.
It's like, what
Yeah.
what level of production was this choice? Was this the director? Was this the actor? Was it, yeah, like...
He's an alien on Earth. That's just...
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And of course, like we have to go to the Marvel Studios titles in the opening crawl.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh.
Like,
I was literally like, lights came on, title stars like, this is nothing but okay, this movie's already out of 4 and it hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. Completely everything.
Just immediately.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing but Stan Lee cameos, just random Stan Lee footage. I'm like, y'all just keep that until Marvel Studios eventually bankrupts and folds in like 100 years. Just
Now-
keep that. Do nothing else.
Kevin Smith actually took to, I think it was Instagram, and commented on Stan's cameo in
Yeah,
this movie.
I love the actual cameo.
Yes, yes, because like, you know, years ago in the 90s, there was a movie called Mallrats.
Yeah.
And you see Stanley on the train with the script for Mallrats, and he's rehearsing his lines. And Kevin actually commented on, you know, all the times that we've commented or that we've paid kudos to Marvel and Stan Lee, and now they're giving back. And he was actually really touched by that. So.
Oh no, yeah, that was great. And you know that there are people on the internet going, Kevin Smith films are now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That was my immediate thought.
yeah.
I was like, okay, so wait.
Sure.
Clinton Barton probably sat down and watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. At some point, he probably got drunk or high, and this was on, and so Hawkeye has awareness of Jay and Silent Bob dancing to that band from Purple Haze or Purple Rain. the time.
Yeah, it was more stay in the time. Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole thing, it just collides into a mess in my fucking head. And speaking of, to go back to Jude Law and the way that it persisted, and yet it persisted.
Yeah.
With that theme of the Wonder Woman, No Man's Land thing.
Yeah.
That moment when Jude Law is like, aha, you've made it. You're finally powerful enough. Now
Oh
fight
my
me.
God!
Fight
Yes.
Me. Debate me.
Yes. Without your powers, prove to me.
Yeah, it's just like, was that please, that has to be obvious and intentional.
Yep.
That has to be. That's so good.
Oh yeah, and like, I think first of all, the fact that she just stands there and blasts him, I was literally like right before that, I was literally going, oh, for the love of God, don't do another prolonged fight scene. Your movie's over now.
Because you can see it coming. You're like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
like they were clearly gonna do something.
Yeah.
But the fact that, again, they just hit that quickly and just moved on, instead of just beating you over the head, I was like, oh, thank you!
I love
This is how it should be done!
I love how they did it. I don't
Yeah.
have to prove anything to you. That was perfect.
The funny thing is, the second I picked up my phone after, sitting there waiting for the post credit, I look at my phone and the first thing I get is transphobic garbage, and I just took that line. And it was like, how wonderfully useful, how wonderfully inspiring that the second I get out of the film, I use a line from the film to just tell someone to fuck off.
Yep.
Oh, like, that one line, there's no way that that's going to be right up there with Agent Carter's I Know My Worth.
Yeah.
Like, it can't, there's no way that that's not going into memes to that level.
Yep.
And also, there was that scene shortly after Carol kind of conveniently crash lands on Earth. Just, like, I don't know if it was a bad editing thing or what, but it seemed like they were just suddenly there.
There's definitely a line missing where all they had to say was, "Oh, we're plotting a course. We have arrived."
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh yeah. Like again, it's like it's not one of those. Just one line would have been nice. I didn't care a whole lot, but and she ends up encountering this biker who I could have sworn said something along the lines of, "You should smile more."
That's what
He
he
did.
said.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And I was talking about it with my buddy Blake over Messenger, and I was like, I swear to God, if they went back in post and redubbed that line after the controversy about how, oh, this is going to be so terrible, Brie Larson doesn't have any expression in this trailer, I will willingly pledge my soul to Marvel Studios if that is actually what they did. Because that would be the most subtly amazing thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The official line from Marvel is that it was already written there. These are the people who who intentionally mess with their own trailers to fuck with your perception.
Yeah.
You know what? People can call it rusty bitchy face, whatever. But the fact is, if I'm not engaged with anybody, I'm sitting there in my own thoughts, and yeah, I'm not smiling.
No!
How many people smile while reading a map?
How many people smile while sitting on a goddamn bus thinking of their grocery list?
Yeah, no.
I don't.
No, exactly. And the simple fact is, she's a soldier in very, very foreign territory.
Yeah.
Very focused on her mission. Mm-hmm. There is no logical reason for her to be smiling.
And not only a soldier, we're from her perspective, we're a lesser being.
Exactly.
Yeah, she doesn't know she's human yet. She thinks that she's a Kree, and so of course she's just like, "Excuse me, what did you just say to me, peon?"
Yeah.
Thing that is below me based on the entire structure of my civilization.
Yeah. Now, but that said, as much as I love the fuck out of this movie, was it perfect? No. The opening mission where, Carol and, Jude Law's character, Walter, or whatever his name was, that I will put in a caption because for the love of God, I can't remember it, lead their strike team to this, Kree border world to, pull out a spy from behind enemy lines. As soon as I found out what the mission was, I knew everything that was going to happen. Because if you've seen an action movie, you know exactly where this plot element is going to go beat for beat. And it hit every single note.
And it was like convenient that immediately after it connects directly to getting to Earth. Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be the same Skrulls. It should be like a different splinter group that leads them to the Earth Skrulls. It was just a little too pat.
Oh yeah, and with the ruler of the Kree, the Supreme Intelligence. I mean, on the one hand, you're damn right you cast Annette Bening for that. At the same time, her final scene, like her final confrontation with Carol, where Carol basically pulls off that little inhibitor thing off of her neck. The way, I don't know if it was the notes Annette was given. That moment where, okay, I probably missed bits of dialogue, because I'll be honest, I was in the theater singing along to Come As You Are. I'm not kidding.
I was too.
But I like how they made it overtly diegetic. They were just like, there's a record player. That's why you hear that. That's why you hear that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, like, that it's like, sure, who the hell cares?
Yeah.
But it almost seemed, it was like the Supreme Intelligence suddenly almost looked drunk. Because she's suddenly so much more dramatically emotional and more, for lack of a better term, more human than we've seen her at any other point in the movie.
I wonder if there's, because they keep saying, okay, Carol, control your emotions. And like, obviously that's coming from male characters constantly.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's almost like a feedback loop of, the Supreme Intelligence is not used to anyone being passionate when it's like connected. And maybe it was like influenced by her passion and anger in that moment. And it's becoming unstable because it's only ever part of whatever's connected to it.
Okay, it's AI, so it does have programming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it no longer has to pretend with Veers because it's now Carol. So, when you've got 6 years of trying to... And I mean, to be fair, Carol's powers are connected to her emotions. They don't want Veers blasting them all over the place.
Oh, no.
Which is exactly what happened. Okay, I now know what's going on. You didn't give me these powers. You're inhibiting me. Oh, look, I'll take this out. Now I'm gonna blast your ass.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think the whole point of no longer having to cover up and pretend to be something other than what it was gave it a little bit more freedom to, take the stick out of its ass.
Oh, probably. And again, that's one of those, one tiny little bit of dialogue to set that up would have been nice. Is it needed? Not really. Because as much as it stuck out for me, at the same time, like literally right after that, you have Carol breaking out, No Doubt kicks in, and who the hell cares? This is just fun.
Yeah. Plus, you have the fact that that's only half of Annette Bening's performance.
Yeah.
She gives an incredible one as Marvel.
Yep.
And you can see it coming from a mile away. You're like, this is gonna be good. And that's where all of her work and effort went into. You almost, like, obviously they wrote in that, okay, Vers only sees the Marvel when she's talking to the Supreme Intelligence, but it's kind of like, you added that after. You had Annette Bening come in and stand in front of a green screen and go, ooh. Paycheck, yay.
This is probably as good a time as any to go ratings. It's straight up 1 to 5 scale. And as much as I have the distinct impression I know exactly where everybody's going to go. Paula, why don't you start? What's your rating?
I didn't see anything wrong with this movie. It was a 5. Go see it. If you don't, just don't talk to me. Go see it.
Because I can't think of anything necessarily wrong, I'm going to go with 5 because perfection's the enemy of good. It's great.
Yeah.
So 5, yeah.
Yeah. And for myself, also a 5. And to the young girls who are going to see this, there are 3 things that I want to say. First and foremost, for the love of God, don't use any of the language you have heard in this review. I do not want to deal with email or comments from your parents.
You might want to put that spoiler at the start of it too. Just, disclaimer.
It's much funnier if I don't. Number 2, welcome to Geekdom. I swear we're not all assholes.
We're sorry in advance.
And number 3, seriously, I am so happy for you that you have this. You should have had this movie a long time ago, and I am so sorry that this took so long. I truly am. In all seriousness, I was fine through the Stan Lee tribute. I was fine through the movie. I was walking down to the bus, and I started thinking about the young girls who now have a hero that is telling them, don't accept any limits anyone else puts on you. And I've been an early childhood educator for about 20 years now, and I started thinking about the young girls who I worked with so far long ago that I really don't want to think about it, and how they're at the right age to see this now. Mm-hmm. And I almost started crying from joy right then and there.
Now, when I was younger, I was 5 when I went out as Wonder Woman for Halloween. I grew up with Wonder Woman. I grew up with Uhura, Nichelle Nichols. Yeah. I grew up with the Bionic Woman. So I'm glad that there's now, that's being carried on.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that there's more choices out there, a more diverse option, and this is a great time. I don't think if the movie had been done sooner, I don't think it would have been as well put together.
No, I think that's very true. I think it could have been done. Because not with Captain Marvel necessarily.
The thing that I look at with could have been done is and I actually as much as I love Wonder Woman, that film is almost we tried and we could have done better, but we didn't, because Wonder Woman's a goddess. She's a literal goddess. Yes. That's the thing. Little girls can't grow up to be her.
No, exactly.
You can grow up to be, in a world of ridiculous science, or even hell, get a pilot's license. You can grow up to be Captain Marvel. You can grow up to be Carol Danvers. You can't grow up to be the goddess princess of Themyscira. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and they couldn't necessarily have done this specific movie earlier. A Black Widow movie, maybe toward the end of Phase 2.
Yeah.
Maybe early Phase 3.
Well, technically, Winter Soldier.
How would you want the young girls watching the movie to turn out?
Zinna on a top. Zinna on a top or bust. Kill them with your thighs, girls.
Young girls who see and know that they don't have to take shit from nobody. Good! I am perfectly fine with more of that. With that, Paula, how do you tell people where they can find you outside of this ridiculousness?
I am that bad penny. I am everywhere. Out of the broom closet. Look for me. See the little witch with the Doctor Who scarf. You found the right one, because there are multiple out of the broom closets. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook. And Mike, of course, will go and put all the taglines in for me, because it's too many for me to remember.
This is how we edit people.
But if you're looking for me in person to find me with my wares set up, I will be at Geekwinox next month. And the following weekend, I will be at a psychic and holistic fair, and you can find that on my social media, so you can come find me.
And Mikki, again, nice of me to tell people where they can find you again.
Of course, I'm of course on Twitter, where I won't shut up, at Mikki, MIKKIMGIC. The MGIC stands for My Gender is Cinema, which is my channel on YouTube. Go look at it and subscribe, because I'm just starting off and I need those numbers. And I'm on iTunes as, okay, let me actually see if I can remember all these. The Industry is Doom. Please Won't You Shut Up. and Gutter Tales. Thank
Now,
you.
Nice.
Now that you've done that, I Won't Shut Up. Is that one of your channels? Can it be one of your channels?
That Please Won't You Shut Up is actually a Star Trek podcast.
No, that you said initially because you won't shut up.
Because I won't shut up. Mine's see, because all these things run together. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So for myself, aside from this, you'll see me on the upcoming Pokemon Go Community Day video, where we'll be basically hunting lizards at Cape and Cowl Comics and Games in Sackville. There's really no other way to describe Trico. I'm sorry.
I
There
found
just
some in the
isn't.
cash register. Quick. Sorry, Jay. I won't touch it.
And otherwise, next month, join us as we stay in the Marvel Universe for Avengers Endgame and the amount of tears that are probably going to be shed by the end of that movie.
Oh, this is gonna be... Yeah, the Jedis are gonna feel that.
Of course, thank you for joining us, Mickey. Trevor will be back next month because I'm pretty sure he's going to kill us if we don't keep a chair open for him for this. And until then, see you in the movies. I don't know how... Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, share this video with your friends, and drop us a line anytime you like.